Hello, beautiful souls. My name is Tony Tomlin. I am the founder and CEO of Faith to Felicity. I'd like to welcome you here today. It is a special, special day. It is the second anniversary of opening the store and really seeing my vision come to life, y'all. That is incredible. I have goosebumps as we speak. There was so much that went into bringing this forward, and anyway, I'm just so thankful to be here right now and sharing this moment with you. Today I want to introduce you to our podcast. We're doing something new. It really is about mindful moments, right? So we want to tap into the things that you may wonder about, you have questions about. A lot of us are not into crystals, don't know what that means, have some preconceived theories and thoughts about it. And so I'm taking this opportunity on this platform to share with you some of the things that I've learned on my journey so that it may inspire or help you on your journey. All right, so what many of you may or may not know about me, because I'm sure most of you are seeing me for the first time, but I have a pretty standard journey like most people, right? I was military. I retired after 20 years of service in the Navy. I went to federal work. I have 3 children. I've been married. I've been divorced. And I've always been a very strong woman, right? Being the strength for your family, be it for your children, for your parents, for your loved ones, whomever. It is a lot. And sometimes to cope with that, we compartmentalize, right? We kind of don't deal with things as they happen. And so in my case, years of compartmentalization caught up to me. And that really hit me hard when I went through a divorce, really bitter. And then a few years later, my mom died unexpectedly. Y'all, she went in for carpal tunnel surgery, and in recovery had a situation and died 24 hours later. It was the most devastating thing that I've ever experienced. My mom was my best friend, my #1 supporter, and the person who really knew me the best, right? So if she's gone, who's got my back? I gotta now figure out how to live this life and do the things that I do without my strongest supporter. It's been 8 years, but it's still very triggering. So, nonetheless, that wasn't really the thing that put me over the edge. The thing that put me over the edge was about 6 months later, my son was involved in an accident. He was crossing the street coming home from the store, and he got hit by a car. And he was medevac to the same hospital in which my mother passed away. And so it just brought so many feelings of fear and just anxiety, and it was a very difficult time. But I will tell you that God is super, super great, and we all know that He is so good, because my son, and he was a senior at the time, 6 months later walked across the stage to get his diploma on time with his classmates. So that is a testament to the power of prayer and, again, positive thinking. So, you might say, okay, well, that sounds pretty positive. And for the most part it was, except that at that point when they were all strong is when I really fell apart. It's like I couldn't take another stone, another anything on my plate, because I would have been the lady outside talking to the trees. Frankly, just, out of my mind, trying to get back to where I was, the person I used to be. And so that in itself set me on a really, really determined journey to get back to where I was, or get back to a person that I thought I was, And interestingly enough, the person who I thought I was not. And if I could be frank, it was kind of like shedding layers of um, who I was to this new person that has emerged with more faith than I've ever had before, more optimism than I had before, and really a purpose. And so this day is really important, not only because it's our second anniversary, but also because it is, again, the vision coming to life. It is testimony that if you put your mind to it, you walk in faith, then God will always deliver, right? So I'll say that. So we opened up the store. I'll go back. 2020, I went online with my bracelets, and the way I got to stones and bracelets was basically I felt the energy begin to shift once I understood it. I went to a Reiki session. The Reiki leader gave me a stone. I started researching it because, again, I didn't know about stones before my situation. And it worked for me because it was a mind, body, spirit alignment in which I didn't have before. When we grow up, we're always taught to pray, 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 which is strong. That's what we do. But at the time where I had so many other things that had been stuck in my subconscious, I needed something more. I needed something tangible as a reminder of the things that I prayed for. And so I got into crystals and stones and energy healing, really, as a way to align mind, body, and spirit. Then COVID hit. And that threw me all the way back into panic, right? Because I thought that COVID was going to have our eyes bleeding, and, in one sense, and then the other hand, I thought, we were under attack by some foreign entity. It was a mess, and I was a mess. And so I started making my bracelets and praying over them, sending them to my family and friends, just conveying my prayers for their health and well-being. And to some extent, because I didn't know what tomorrow would bring, kind of sending them my final, like, girl, I love you anyway. And, I hope that your family is doing well. So later in the year, with some encouragement of my family, my husband Doug and the boys, right, said, hey, you have a business. You should start doing this. And I said, I kind of want to. I was still working my full-time job at the time, and it just wasn't my cup of tea. But eventually, I started making more bracelets. I felt good about it. When COVID, some of the restrictions lifted, and they had outdoor fairs. I was one of the first people to sign up to go to the outdoor fair. And it is there that I had the connection with people that gave me a sense of security that what I was doing was meaningful. And so I met in Jersey, where I'm from, I met Tom, who was a really sweetheart. And it was funny how we met because I had got up there and bought this new tent, put the tent up, but didn't know how to fold it back in. And, oh, by the way, a strong gush of wind came. My tent was almost in the water. And so Tom came to the rescue, and, we started a conversation, and we've been really good friends ever since. So Tom, if you're watching, hi. Nonetheless, after that, I liked the interactions that I had with people, went back online to sell, and it was okay, but it wasn't what I wanted. And if I can be really, really real, social media is not my friend, or was not my friend. I missed the early round of education and all of that stuff, so I'm catching up. But I got good people around me now to help me do it, so it's going to be good. Nonetheless, I had a meltdown in the middle of the floor. I'll never forget it. And I said, you know what, forget social media. I'm going to go old school. I'm going to open a store on the corner, and people are going to come, and we're going to have exchanges, and we're going to build a community. And here we are. 2021, October, we opened the doors, the day before my 50th birthday, by the way. And it has been really good. It has been really good. And so as we continue to grow, we have so many things that are in store. I'm always inspired and touched by the people that come through the doors. We have conversations about various things. Some people come in because they need something in the energy world to help them with whatever they're going through. Sometimes they come in because they just want to talk. One of the things that is really stands out for me is when we first opened our doors, people used to come in and pray. The community would come in and pray in various sections of the store. My son and his girlfriend were working here at the time, and they used to be like, Mom, because I was at work, Mom, so-and-so came in, they just said prayers for us. It was like 3 people that came in and prayed for us, and those prayers worked because we're still here. And so Faith to Felicity is about your faith. Your faith is what leads you to your happiness, because we all know that in the darkest of times, if you don't believe in God, girl, sir, you are doomed. So we know that the faith is what elevates us. Stones, crystals, sage, all of these things are tools. They're tools to help us on our journey, but our journey is guided in our faith. All right, you guys, today is Indigenous Peoples Day. It used to be Columbus Day, but we all now celebrate the people who originally inhabited this space that we're in. So I'd like to honor them by mentioning sage and what its practice is about. A lot of people see these bundles in the grocery store or what have you, but it really is a tool and a practice that Indigenous people use to clear negative energy, to clear their space of, energy that wasn't for their betterment and good. And so we have adopted it today in lots of different cultures, and we sell this in the store. And it's really interesting because the first time that I saged, it was actually a girlfriend of mine, Miss Candace. Candace, hey girl. And she came to the house and she helped me go through the house and clear it out. It was life-changing. And so, a number of people say, well, does it really work? Well, your intention is what it's really about. And so if I'm walking through my space after me and my kids have had an argument, I am moving all that negative space out of there. I'm blessing the space with new positive energy. And after that's gone, I'm not thinking about the argument no more because I'm in sage. That's what it is. So if you have an opportunity, come in, pick up some sage. We also have smokeless sage. So if you're traveling and you don't have the ability to burn the sage, or if you're at work and you don't have the opportunity to burn the sage, we have smokeless sage as well that you can pick up and take with you. That is infused with black tourmaline, which also is for positive energy. And so that's something that you can do with intention to clear the space and promote positivity. So I want to take a little bit of time also as we're celebrating our 2-year anniversary to tell you about the store, right? So Faith to Felicity, the name itself means your faith is to your happiness. When I created the logo, I created something that was funky, right? It had like the 7 chakras going across around the circle, 7 chakras going around the circle. It was difficult to see. So I sent it to my sister, who's in graphics, and I asked her what she thought. She was like, I don't know what this is, but let's do something different. And so I went to Jersey and we had a session where we really just got together and we talked about, okay, so what is it that you want? So this is what we came with. Purple is the main color because it's royal, it's regal, and who doesn't love purple? Purple rain, the color purple, all of those things. Also, it's a lotus because the lotus is one of the flowers, the flower that grows in the mud. So it is persevering through all kinds of difficulties and can bloom to 1,000 petals or more. Next, we have the alignment of the chakras. So chakras, you'll learn more about that as we move into, our podcast. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. But the chakras are your energy centers, right? And so when you are in alignment, then you know yourself completely, and you know when you're off and when you need to correct and all of that. In the middle of the logo is a heart, which is represented by 2 2s, which is the fave 2 Felicity. My sister flipped the other 2 around, so you got heart, which was super cute. And then that was it. That's the logo. And so we have the lotus, the chakras, the 2 that surrounds the heart chakra. And that was really special. It was a moment that, united my sister and I even more. The last thing is our tag is feel good, do good. Because when you feel good, you do good, right? And so again, that's another creative moment with my sister and I just kind of sharing, and her and I vibing, saying, okay, well, we got the logo, we need a tag, and that was the one that we came up with. So Faith to Felicity, feel good, do good. That's how it came about. It was a play on, a cafe, because we have a gym bar, we have a bracelet bar where you can come in and do your own thing, right? You come in and create your bracelet. So as you can see behind me, these little strands are components to create your jewelry or create your bracelet. We have them hung up here, so when you come in, they're available for you to touch, right? And then we guide you through making a bracelet. We also have prayer books and journals. We have meditation cards. We have candles. We have affirmation fashion. You probably have seen some of that where Won't He Do It is on there, or my favorite, which is Pretty Girls Pray. Those type of things that, kind of capture your attention. And the best one is the Won't He Do It, because I had my sweatshirt on and I was walking down the street and the lady was like, yes, he will. Yes, he will do it. And I was like, oh yeah, won't he do it? So anyway, I say a lot of it's a reminder, a cry for your values, that it's your public statement of, what he will do. So anyway, that is the most part of the store. We also have crystal clear open mic night, where you can come in for spoken word or singing or those type of things, because if you're able to express yourself, when you're able to express yourself, especially in a creative way, you can kind of remove some of the stuff that's in your subconscious. We also do sip and string parties, and so you can come in with your girlfriends or date night, right? And we have sweet treats and champagne. You can toast it up, make your bracelet together. It's super memorable. We work with children as well. We have kids parties. We do mom and daughter day. There's a lot of things that we do here at Crystal Cafe. And most of it really, really is about building an experience, right? Something that's memorable, that lasts. Because as we all know, and I speak right now, if I weren't able to have that time, I'll tell you what, if I had more time with my mom, we would have done something like this. We would have had a bracelet that I would have gone back to and said, we did this when I was at the harbor, blah, 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 blah. So it is an activity that can be done. So let's talk about the podcast. All right, let's talk about the podcast. I'm not an expert in anything yet, right? Not necessarily. I'm a mom, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, but I've learned some things on my journey. And those things, I share with you. And so in mindful moments, the whole process or the whole thought is to talk about what the chakras are. What does it mean to say your throat chakra is off? Or what does it mean to say that your root chakra, all of those things. What's a chakra is probably what you're saying. That's okay. So I have some friends that are really good experts in these areas. And so we're just going to have an open conversation about it. So I've learned a lot, but I will let the experts talk more about it. We'll talk about chakras. We'll also talk about mindfulness and meditation. And it's not just women. We have some men that are coming in and talking about their transition into energy healing, or the work that they've done to take themselves from maybe addiction or maybe womanizing to a person that's walking in faith. We're always punctuated by faith, and so don't be surprised if we have your favorite minister up in here with us too, okay? Just to round it all out. In closing, Faith to Felicity is not just a brand, it is a movement. I welcome you to join us on this journey. It's going to be fun, it's going to be interesting, and most of all, you'll be supported. Thanks. All right, guys, so make sure that you follow us so that you can be a part of this movement, be on the journey. I want to hear from you. I want to be connected with you as well. So follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We have YouTube. Pinterest might be coming, but anyway, we're Faith to Felicity. That's Faith, the number 2, Felicity. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Also, we have a website. If you're not in the area, you'll want to check into the website to see what products we have that are newly released. www.faith2felicity.com. If you're in the area, vacation and business, stop down to see us. We're at the National Harbor, 164 Waterfront Street, right across the street from Starbucks. Peace and blessings. See you next week.